welcome back to The Give and Go. I'm your coach, Reynoso, here with my boy
Soltero. What's up, y'all?
America just now defeating Monterrey 2-1 in el Estadio Cuauhtémoc with goals from Alejandro Zendejas and Kevin Alvarez. Despite Sergio Canales' absolute worldly of a goal, America gets the victory here, looking really good going into the second leg.
Banger from Canales, and that's the goal that got this game off to a great start. What a turn. Very good improvisation, quick thinking, looks up and immediately pulls the trigger. An absolute banger from the Spaniard. And honestly, prior to that, America had some really good moments in that first half, but it was Monterrey getting back on the ball, taking care of possession on the road. I was actually impressed with the response, given that America started, in my opinion, the better side. Monterrey ended up taking the lead. But then, honestly, for the rest of the match, it was America just chipping slowly back into this, and they completely flipped it. Some sloppy defending. Kevin Alvarez takes advantage of it, equalizes the game, and then from the start of the second half, I just thought America were the much better team. Monterrey were just able to stabilize themselves a little bit, but I'm a little nervous for Monterrey going into the second leg just based off of that second half.
I mean, nervous is actually absolutely the right word, but also I think they ultimately end up being lucky to leave the stadium with only a 1-goal difference, in my opinion. This almost could have been a 3-1 deficit if America could have finished their clear opportunities after Zendejas' second goal, because the momentum have completely shifted. And that second half was all America. My God, Monterrey basically showed no signs of life offensively in that game and just hoped and prayed to go back to Monterrey with a 1-goal deficit. They get that. We'll see how the second leg goes, but I think as of right now, America shows why going into this match, I did ultimately have them as a favorite in this game, because they're almost inevitable right now, man. They're in the midst of a dynasty and Liga MX, having won back-to-back championships. And going into Liga this year, we were very questionable of could they tap into that championship mentality and that championship form once again. And I think, honestly, they've given us every reason to show us that they ultimately can, bro. Like, when it comes to showcasing that clinicality in front of goal, finishing off your opportunities, and being ruthless when it's absolutely needed, America has shown just 100% in that sector, especially Alejandro Zendejas, who today I think had one of his best games I've ever seen from him.
What a finish.
Yeah, what a finish, and also providing the assist ultimately in that first goal, which came from a botched miss, but was considered an assist. His involvement today was key, I think, in giving America the lead. But then that touch, that turn, and that finish in that second goal, I think just continues the momentum that he built for himself. Even in that Cruz Azul matchup, he had a goal in that game that I thought was super clinical as well, and showed a very high level of quality too. I think he was key in this match, and also kind of represents the level of quality that America has overall. They got ballers on their team, man, that at any point can wake up and score. They just wait for the mistake from the other team, and then they take full advantage like they did today.
And that's why I think we're just going to see America win this whole thing. I just don't see Monterrey being able to defeat America, even though they're going to take this home, which is really interesting. They're going to be able to play in Monterrey in front of their home crowd. We saw what they were able to do against Atlético San Luis, but this is America, man. This is... you use the word inevitable, and I'm going to use the same one. I think this is inevitable for America. This is like physics, bro. This is gravity. You can't stop it. It just exists. And I think America is going to lift their third straight Liga MX trophy. I don't think Monterrey is going to be able to stop them, and it's because of what you just said. America have too much firepower. There's just too many players that can attack from either side. Whereas you look at Monterrey, dude, with Ocampos out now, what are they going to do? Yeah. They just have to rely on Berterame, and that's it. Canales can only do so much from a midfield position. Monterrey are looking so thin offensively. And then when you look at America, I mean, they have Diego Valdez coming off the bench. You have Aguirre coming back from a red card. You have Zendejas, as you just said, in fine form. Fidalgo from a midfield position. And then Kevin Alvarez, honestly, looking like his old self that we saw at Pachuca. He probably could have scored the filthiest goal in Liga MX final history if he just finished that Meg chance, bro. So I'm just like America's just got too much. They just got too much. They're the better team here. I would be very, very surprised if they do not win it.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised too. And I mean, I don't doubt that those first 20, 30 minutes in Monterrey Stadium will be a very loud crowd, a very loud atmosphere. Monterrey will definitely try to attack from the get-go. But in terms of seeing the result out, I think America proved to me after defeating Cruz Azul, who, in my opinion, was the best threat to taking out America's side in their past 3 tournaments where they've gone deep into the final. Cruz Azul is the best threat that I've seen from them. Put in an absolute incredible game, but still couldn't do it, bro. Still couldn't do it and ended up coming up short. America, after that performance, showed to me that they can see these results out. They're going to win the trophy, in my opinion. They're the favorite going into the second leg. And with a 1 goal difference going into it as well, I think it's inevitable. I think we're going to see America do it, man.
And I just want to say one thing. And I know this is going to come off as hate or whatever. I really don't care. I don't give a shit. But for me, this is the weakest iteration of America.
No, yeah.
And I'm frustrated because they're going to win it, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm just like, where's the rest of Liga MX showing up here, man? Come on, bro. Like, Monterrey, if one guy goes down, now all of a sudden you can't even compete in the final. I'm just like, very, very frustrating to see. Nothing against America. Seriously, nothing against them. But based off of the championship winning sides that we saw in the Clausura, and especially last year in the Apertura, this team is so much weaker.
No, 100%. I would think America fans would agree with that, given their place in the league going into the Liga. Like, they didn't put in a good, dominant performance in the regular season, but ultimately, I think they kind of had the confidence after winning it 2 times in a row that if we just make it to Liga, we're going to turn it up and we're going to take over. Like, I think that's what ended up being proven right so far, given how well we've seen them play. And yeah, bro, like, not even Cruz Azul, Toluca. My God, what a horrendous display. They got dominated from the America side. They didn't show any sort of life. Tigres, nothing to say, nothing to do here.
Nothing to say, bro.
And low-key, I wish San Luis was here instead of Monterrey.
Honestly, I think they could have at least given us just a little bit more hope offensively. And it's just, again, very unfortunate that Ocampos is injured and they don't really have anybody else to fill in that position. But yeah, this is what we get. Pachuca would have been dope too, man.
That'd be cool.
It's just frustrating we don't get a true opponent, I think, in the final. I think even Tijuana could have done something offensively. But this is America. This is true legacy, man. This is a dynasty that they've built starting over a year ago. I mean, truly, I will say the consistency that America has shown, this truly is total Liga MX domination from America. And the fact that they've kept so much of these core players together for this long, I mean, at this point, bro, they could go for 4 for 5 if they don't even have to have that good of a league season. They can just show up in Liguilla. This team is so talented. They have so many ballers. America's going to be the champion.
Yeah, I definitely want to open up the conversation to what it means in the lore and the genesis of Mexican football to see a team win it 3 times in a row. But I'm going to hold off on that until they actually do it.
For sure.
But then I definitely want to talk about where they land in terms of dynasties we've seen in the league, because this is definitely one of the best ones that we've had, at least in recent memory, for sure, with America taking a 2-1 lead going into Monterrey. We'll see, man. We'll see if next time we're talking highly about Monterrey and they pull off an absolute miracle. But for now, I feel pretty confident that America will pull off the result.